Hello, and welcome to Blood City, a Chicago by Night Chronicle. My name's David, I'm your storyteller today. We have three kindred with us. Might notice that if you watched our last session, we're trying to escape Black Site 24, and we are short one of the people that was with you escaping. I will now narrate what exactly happened, Justice, while you were right as the alarm went off, and everyone is frightened. So Sparkles and Ben, you both witnessed this. Deacon, you do not yet. Suddenly, Augustus's eyes turn black. He says, "Shalaya mai shalom," and then he starts sort of muttering it under his breath until he goes silent. Now that ominous scene plays out, let's do what we normally do, and I'll go down the list and who's playing today. Jolene, tell us about Sparkles, please. What's going on?
Good morning. My name is Sparkles, and my handle is Tokyo Rose. I am part of the Malkavian clan. I appear to be about 15 years old, dressed like a scary doll, because that's my thing. And this is my bestest friend in the whole world. His name is George with a J. And I'm pretty sure that the man with the red glasses captured him, and so now he has to find him. Okay.
Oh. Okay, Nigel, tell us what's going on with you and what's going on with Ben.
Alright, so my name is Nigel. I'll be playing Ben Borson, the big gangrel biker. He's trying to essentially get the group out, but he's got a major chip on his shoulder, and he's very much so willing to give up some humanity to get some revenge here.
Hello, I'm Harry. I will be playing Deacon, and I'm not sure how much you'd have me say about him right away, but hello, I'm new. I'm guesting.
Well, those at home can see, and you probably can if you logged on to Twitch, some extra details about your character. But I have a question for you, as Harry. Where in the world are you?
Yes, I am in Saratoga Springs right now. So it is currently snowing up a blizzard, which is the perfect mood because we're about to start recording season 2 of Saratoga by Night. It's exciting. It'll be fun.
Great pitch. I like
it's set
that.
in winter, so
segue. Outstanding.
Yes. Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. All right. So now let's play a scene with you, Deacon. You're our guest today. You've been captured. You're in Black Site 24 in a special cell. Something that looks more like a traditional prison cell, even though most of this facility is already like makeshift or top secret sort of technologies, that sort of thing. They must have pillaged some sort of penitentiary or prison. They made this section of Black Site 24 into basically a bunch of holding cells. You're currently in a room, a bench, and metal bars. You've spent a couple days there. I would like you to roll 3 total rouse checks. You can do that on roll 20. Should be a button for that character sheet.
Yes.
So roll
All
3
right.
for how long they're leaving you in your cell.
All right. Rolls. I mean, it's just here. I'll figure that out in a minute. I'll just do the 3d10 roll right now.
Sure, that works.
2 fails, 1 success.
Okay, so that puts you at a total of 3 hunger.
All right.
Edit.
All right, I found the button, so we're good.
Cool. So you have this gnawing hunger. Not overwhelming, but you could definitely. For the first time in a couple days, you see a guard walk by. Cell.
Hey. Hey.
What do you want?
Do you have any food or water or anything?
Okay, so you want to eat, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a minute.
All right.
Walks away. Suddenly, 2 individuals in white lab coats approach your cell. They're holding somebody who, in their arms, who you recognize. They're barely propping him up. He's clearly drugged out. It's someone you've known from your life, someone that you've known recently, not too incredibly close. But I'll let you give them a name right now.
Let's go with Steven.
Okay.
It's a good name.
Steven was someone you worked with.
Yes, a coworker.
Coworker. But eyes glazed over, a little bit of foam on the edge of his lip. Barely stand.
What do you guys do to him?
Oh, we just made sure he was prepped and ready for you. Just feed a little bit. Just then, you notice a gentleman in red glasses walks over to observe what's happening. 2 of the soldiers unholster assault rifles, point them in your direction, and say, "Get to the back wall."
I comply. No questions asked.
Cell doors open, and they sort of toss Steven into the cell with you. Then they shut the door. They're like, "All right, do your thing."
I'm gonna just go over to Steven. I'm gonna touch him, see, like, you okay? You awake? He's definitely unconscious.
He's not quite unconscious. He's just sort of in and out. For a second, you think maybe he sees you, but his eyes just track right past you. Gurgles a
Jesus
little
Christ,
bit.
Steven.
I'll,
What did they do to you?
I'll,
I am
Just then, the
very
man in the
hungry.
sunglasses, he pulls out a cigar and he lights up.
Gonna glare at him, just shoot him a stink eye. And then I know to feed by now, I'm assuming, or
Yeah, you're aware of how that works.
I'm gonna take Steven's arm and I'm gonna drink from it. Reluctantly, but I'm gonna drink. I'm starving.
So, as you drink deeply, you feel his malaise. Almost as if it's making you lazy too. You know that you can't be drugged in this way. You've read about exactly how this is supposed to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not weakening you. It actually strengthens you in the phlegmic resonance. You're finding that this is not necessarily a bad thing, more of a calming, neutralizing thing. This is a very tense scenario you're in, and this is kind of what you needed.
All right. I'll go down. How much blood would I'll go down to 1. I'm not gonna kill him, but
Okay, that definitely puts him out, but he's not dead.
yeah. Gonna get you for this. I'm gonna just say that outside to the guy in the red goggles.
He blows. Yeah, right. He blows smoke into your cell, and he says,
I'm gonna inhale the smoke.
"Okay, I'd like to see that, but for now, to the back of your cell again."
All right.
Doors open again. Soldiers pull out Steven. Check his wound. They close the doors. "So how do you feel now?" says the rimmed glassed man.
I don't know. Pretty pissed that you've locked me in this cell, but besides that, I'm doing pretty well.
Interesting. Scientists are writing down notes.
Here, how about you come in here and we can talk face to face, just you and I.
In due time. Due time. They proceed to leave you.
I'll sort of try to spit on him as he leaves.
Actually, you know what? Roll for it. Roll for what's a good roll for spitting? How about resolve
Athletics?
plus resolve athletics.
Okay, there's resolve and wait, here's
Probably under athletics.
athletics
and then add
the second
resolve.
attribute is resolve.
Well, horribly miss. Dice roll. You roll 2 1s. So what?
Oh no.
The issue. Yeah. So you kind of dribble down your mouth. Yeah, you have a new character, so I forgot to enable the API, so you didn't get the actual dice. But those were 2 1. So yeah, you kind of dribble down your chin. He doesn't even notice. Kind of embarrassing, but nobody saw, so who cares, right?
I guess.
We enable the API for you. Got to do.
Brilliant, thank you.
But God is always watching. He saw.
Uh-oh.
God damn it.
Sure if it activated or not.
All right. Want me to test?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Do another roll just to test.
All right, it worked.
Awesome. Now several hours pass. What you just experienced was a flashback to current events that are unfolding with the rest of the. Ben and Sparkles. Two very alarming events just occurred. One was a literal alarm, and the second was a figurative alarm. Being Gustus's eyes glazing over and him just not acting normal, even responding to the alarm sounding. You've seen his eyes turn black before when he uses powers. However, he usually maintains some awareness surrounding.
I tap him in the forehead, not exactly gently, but not enough to do damage. And be like, Ben to Augustus, Lou.
He calmly, very calmly, simply replies, "Hello," which is very uncharacteristic, as you know that if you just bumped him in the forehead, he probably would have something witty to say.
I look at Sparkles, I'm like, I don't think he's quite right.
Well, we have other things to do. We have to find George. So, Sparkles looks around for a computer or something. Maybe I can log in and see if we can find him some.
You know that there was a computer back in the original room that you escaped into across the hallway again.
Okay, let's go there. Just grab him. Let's go.
Okay, take some of the discarded clothes or whatever and strap them to my back like a bow staff, I guess. It's like one of those baby carriers.
He's willing to follow you. You don't necessarily have to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Groovy.
He's just not entirely there, almost as if someone who you're dealing with someone who's not quite paying attention to you, but still you're like hanging around. Someone who's very distracted.
All right, that's weird, but Ben fully recognizes something beyond his ability to understand. All right, we'll deal with that. Let's get George, one thing at a time, things we can actually handle.
Good plan.
All else fails, I'll weaponize him.
You return to the lab. Right, so the computer's password protected. Do you try to guess it or hack in or something?
Yeah, I'll just see if I can access anything really. Or maybe there's notes on the desk or something.
Would you? Okay, so are you going to search the desk? To search the desk?
Yes.
Roll investigation. Plus resolve. To resolve again. Sparkle's got one success.
Nothing is showing up on my screen.
Not seeing anything?
No.
That's interesting. I see it though. Huh.
Okay, then you're responsible.
Okay. Are you in the correct tab? I mean, if it's
Yes, I'm in the Roll20 tab, and
okay.
where everybody rolls.
Interesting. That's strange. But yeah, what you got was a 10 and a 4, so that's one success. You're not seeing like anything too overtly obvious, like my password is 1234 or anything like that written down. You do see documents, notes about your behavior, notes about prior kindred's behavior, tests they've done, limbs they've removed, things they've exposed them to.
Taking the notes.
Ben gathers up the notes.
I don't know. I need to do something. We have to find George. I don't know where he is. I have some skill in technology. Maybe I can just guess.
Sure. You can either guess a password or roll a. What is computers now? Is it just technology? Technology plus
I
intelligence.
believe so, yeah.
Okay, I will try technology and intelligence.
Two successes.
It's weird not being able to see any of the dice rolls.
You got a 3, a 6, and a 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So you don't necessarily have the skill to hack in, but you did notice that if you move um, the prompt to log in, the login prompt, the screen in the background seems to be a map of the building. Apparently, whoever set this up did not have it fully locked out. This is very unusual if this is some sort of actual government um, program that they've put together. It seems to have some holes in it, since you can literally look at the map of the building that they've set as their screen.
Can I take a snapshot of it with my phone since I've got all my gear back?
Yeah, sure.
Yay, we have phones again.
Yep. Well, all but Augustus. And so I take the snapshot of it.
So where are we on the map?
You can guess from the hallway that you just walked through in the storage area. You believe that you're on the second floor of the second largest building on this map. And down the hallway leads to a way into some sort of what looks like a hangar for aircraft or something.
It's been a few years, but I used to pilot. Well, a few decades. How
Well,
much could they have changed?
I don't know.
Famous last words. But first, let's get George.
Well, I don't know where George is. I'm like starting to tear up.
Can we can I use like survival, which is I think would apply to map reading, right?
Sure.
To try to identify other cells or where tests would be done.
Yeah, go ahead and do a survival and wits in this case.
Oh, thank God you didn't say intelligence.
Okay.
Well, that could be very bad.
3 successes is pretty good. So, from the layout, the fact that there's an airplane hangar and the shape and relative positioning of the buildings and what you see, this to you gives you the feeling that it's some sort of like military base or something like that. Even though these people, although heavily armed, do not seem like any of the um, services that you know. This is not the Marines. This is not the Air Force. This is not the Army. No, it's clearly some other entity's been taking over this what looks like a former military base. So as far as finding where you might find stuffed animal, for example, there's not exactly a room for that. You did clearly see that there's storage on the other side. But I mean, a stuffed animal. They probably checked it out, and obviously there wasn't anything uh, overtly supernatural about it. So they seem to be fooling with you and messing with you all quite a lot. So it's possible that they are using it as their own mascot.
I don't want think about that.
That actually sparks an idea in Ben's mind. I turn to Sparkles. I'm like, you know, if I caught a whole bunch of vampires all at once, I would want a trophy, and I think George might be a pretty good trophy.
No, he's mine.
I'm saying I think I might know where he is.
Okay, let's go. Let's get him.
Is there anywhere that looks like office or something like that?
Yeah. You see the administrative offices. At least that's what they're labeled as. Up one floor. However, just to remind you, we do have a blazing alarm going off. And at this point, there's probably several people in that hallway right outside your door.
All right. I should probably pop claws and get ready to roll.
So, Deacon, you're kind of immobile at this moment because you are just in a cell. However, for the past 5-10 minutes, an alarm's been going off, and you saw some soldiers rush past you. What have you been doing in this meantime?
I'm gonna see if I'm gonna look around, see if there's any guards around me, see if there was like a place they pass things through in the door, although I don't know if they'd have that. See if I could reach my arm through or something, anything I could do to get out while they're distracted.
There does seem to be a like a little food slot or something like that at the base of the cell. They've never used it for you because they can't fit a person through. But
yeah, I'm gonna try and reach around and see if there's like some kind of lever or something on the other side of the door that would allow me to pull it open.
Okay. Roll investigation plus wits.
Oh boy. That's 2 dice.
You got a success. You can tell that there. If you had a 10-foot pole, perhaps you could smack this button that they used to open and close the door on the railing. They set up these wires that go into the wall.
Is there anybody around me? Any other soldiers or guards?
There are other cells. Somehow this whole jail setup cleared out when the alarm went off. You do know that there are a couple other cells next to you. You don't think that these are other vampires. Probably other collaborators. Possibly just ghouls, human pets, someone that they found that got in their way during an operation, that kind of thing.
Okay. Is there any furniture in my room, like a bed or anything like that?
Yes, you do have a cot.
All right. So the cot it's like a metal frame cot?
Yes.
All right. Would it be possible for me to undo part of the frame or to break the frame apart and use one of the metal poles to try and touch the button?
Yeah, go ahead. Roll a strength plus do crafts, since it's you got to know the weak points of structure.
Yep.
Craft strength.
Oh, okay. 0 successes.
Yeah. You can't figure out how to pull this thing apart. It seems welded shut. Just pulling on it. Nothing's doing anything.
I'm gonna look around. Are there any vents or anything?
Not a lot of ventilation. It looks like they sort of set this place up real quick. And but there's bars, so.
All right. And the bars are they're firmly in there.
Oh yeah, they're firmly in there.
Okay. I'm gonna just yell. Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Apparently you have a neighbor.
Something's going on.
Obviously, alarm's going off. I don't understand why it's been going off for so long and where everyone is.
I mean, there must have been some kind of security breach or something. Is there any way you could reach to that? Do you see, if you look out your cell door, do you see that button across the way?
Yeah, I see it.
Is there any way you could reach that? Or fashion some type of tool to reach it?
Fashion a tool. I don't really have much on me anymore. They left me with just nothing. Actually, I'm in a jumpsuit.
Oh. I'm assuming I'm in the same jumpsuit, same situation.
Correct.
Okay. Huh.
Hey, what's your name?
What are you in here for?
Oh.
My name's Deacon.
Oh, hey, Deacon. Well, I guess I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. I mean, clearly it's not for what I thought they brought me in here for, but yeah, my name's Paula.
Paula. Sorry about this, really. Huh. Do you have any idea how we could get out of this thing, Paula? Because right now I've tried the door, I've tried a lot of other things, and well, not a lot of other things. There's not much to try, that's the issue. How long have you been here, Paula?
I'd say a week, maybe 2.
All right. And in that week or two, have you noticed anything odd about your cell or about guard behavior?
Well, I wouldn't say anything is usual about this. I mean, I'm familiar with, like, penitentiaries and that sort of thing, but I don't know who these people are. Some sort of secret government agency? Some sort of, like, terrorist cell that's, like, operating in our country? I don't understand what's going on here.
It's a mix of the two. If that makes any sense.
I think anything makes sense anymore.
Well, might as well try one more thing, and I'm gonna take a step back and do a running kick into the door.
Okay, do a yeah. Do a strength athletics. Athletic strength.
All right, that's something that I'm actually competent in. So 3 successes.
3 successes. You see. Apparently, this was recently constructed. The whole cell structure. And what you see is that the very edge, it's like the frame of these bars, bends out a bit, and is no longer into the cement.
Paula, could you check your bars? Try hitting them as hard as you can, or hitting the area around them as hard as you can. It looks like there's some sort of structural issue there. And I'm gonna, this time, more precisely aim at that spot I'd already weakened.
Okay.
Same roll?
You notice that when she hits it, it sort of wiggles your bars too.
Oh. Paula, on my count, I want you to, on the count of 3, on 3, I want you to whack the bars as hard as you can. I'll do the same, because it seems that you're hitting your bars is affecting mine, okay?
Alright. Yeah,
okay.
I think I see what you're talking about. Let's do this, yeah.
1, 2, 3.
And one more time, make a strength roll. That's fine.
4 successes.
4 successes? Yeah, you now can fit outside, to the left side of your bars are bent enough that you can fit your whole body through, if you struggle.
I will squeeze myself through then.
As you're doing that, you meet Paula. She apparently experienced the same thing on her right side. She can bend out. It looks like they were just connected at the top. through the cement, but the cement was just not mixed properly or something like that.
Brilliant. We need to move in case anybody else comes along and finds us. Which way
Okay.
were the guards going?
He points further to the left.
Well, if that's where the security breach is, then I figure our best shot might actually be going that way. And hey, their backs might be towards us. Could have the element of surprise.
I don't know. I guess let's do this.
Stay behind me. And keep your head down.
Okay, back to Sparkles and Ben. Ben just took out claws, right?
Yep.
Am I
Which
still invisible?
What was that?
Am I still invisible?
Oh yeah, you can be invisible if you wish. Yeah, it's still the same scene, I think, relatively.
Okay, so
Yeah.
still invisible, still ghost in the machine, so they can't see me on cameras.
Right.
so as far as they know, it's just little old me.
You hear some commotion outside in the hallway. Apparently, they're setting up to breach the door where you are in the lab.
All right, I motion for her. Like, you might want to get behind cover and get ready to attack as quick as possible.
Okay.
And I do the same. Ready to spring and so kind of turn their surprise back on them.
Okay. So, what's the first move? Are you going to open the door yourself, or how are we going to do? Or are you going to wait until they breach?
Essentially, the moment the breach happens, like the blast will go one way. Once that settles, I'm gonna jump into the smoke at them. That's my theory.
Is there like an air vent or something? Maybe I can go about this another way.
There is. Would you like to crawl into the vent?
Yes.
There you go. I am more frontline.
Well, if you find a gun, you can always pass it to me.
Could you make a strength plus crafts? You don't have any tools on you to necessarily open the vents the proper way, so you probably just have to tear it off. But you want to know how to do it properly. Roll crafts plus strength to.
Can I tear it open for her?
Yeah, you may.
Should I still roll?
Only if you're necessary. Well, he just rips it open. Like, oh, you want to go through the vents?
Okay.
Yeah. Just then, the door gets blasted open. So yep. So you were bracing for this.
Yep.
3 armed guards rush in.
And I'm going to go split somebody in two here.
So like the first one that comes in, that sort of thing.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Are you kidding me?
Get 2.
Oh, wait. I forgot I have a specialty in this. Aha! I didn't do that roll right.
Well, you do have 3 failures on your normal dice. You can always willpower those up too.
Yeah. I just need to get one more D10 in there to cover the specialty. I'll just hit a rouse roll and whatever that is. Yep,
That's a failure.
Specialty failed too. All right, so we've got the 2 successes. We're gonna burn a willpower. 3 successes total.
3 total.
Yeah, that is ridiculous.
Okay. And that does aggravated to mortals, right?
Yep. 4 plus whatever this factor is, aggravate.
The guard lets out a cry. Ah! Is dazed for half a second from just the sheer pain. His left arm is kind of inoperable at this moment. You sliced clearly through part of his abdomen as well. However, he's going to just instantly open fire on you.
I assume they would.
Yeah. So that would be so 3. It's kind of a small caliber gun. Let's say take 5. So you have fortitude up, right?
Yep. Is there any way I can use the guy I stuck like as a meat shield?
For the rest of them, sure.
Yeah. Obviously, I can't meat shield him, but yeah.
Right. He'll shoot through himself to get to you.
Yeah, I don't think he would. I'm gonna have to just eat him, eat his bullets. But yeah.
Okay.
What roll would you like for that?
Do a brawl and strength to hold him up.
Okay. And I also have the prowess going.
Yeah, that's more than enough. But did we resolve how much damage you took? What was the minus that we get to the total roll for the damage?
3.
3?
3.
Okay, so you just take 1.
Yeah. All right.
You're now at 5 health.
8.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You have a buff to it now, right?
Had it this whole time.
Yep. So you now have cover. So you may roll defensively against other shots, correct?
Correct. Normally, I would get a -2 to my dodge roll, unless it's point blank, and then you don't get the -2. It's kind of a weird rule. I'm not exactly a fan of it.
Well, Sparkles, you crawl into a vent. What are you doing up there?
So I'm gonna see if I can get out of the room.
It's easy enough. The vent goes into sort of the hallway area, and then goes. There's a detour. You can either fork right to the supply room. You could turn.
The supply room we just came from?
Yes, the supply room you just came from. You could go down the hallway towards those admin offices, or you can. It's towards the admin offices or the hangar. Or you can sort of hang like 2 lefts and head somewhere you don't know where that goes.
I want to use my fleetness, which is like super speed, and see if I can go to the admin office area. And since I'm above, it should be pretty easy for me to survey what's in the room, unless I have to get out of the vent.
I think you're confusing fleetness with blink.
Oh, well, it says move with super speed or react. Move or react?
React.
Move and react.
Yeah, it's more like a matrix dodge than.
Oh, shucks. Okay. I was thinking like maybe it would just help her move faster.
You do get to add to non-combat dex rolls, similar to how my prowess does to strength rolls. But it doesn't make you like instant port.
Oh, sad.
You are faster than a human, though.
This is true. Because I don't think I can help Ben any, because I don't have any weapons or anything. So I'm gonna check out this admin office. Because if we can get George, we can get out of here faster.
So you quickly skitter up the vent. It sort of braces under your weight, but you're not that heavy, so you're able to make it through without it just collapsing. If anybody saw you, they'd probably be really freaked out at how fast you're skittering. But in the meantime, Deacon, you, your friend Paula, sort of come down that hallway that I mentioned. You see them, the guards rushing into this lab. Hear the gunshots. So you'll have a chance to react after the other two guards take shots at Ben now that he has cover.
All right. So after the guards take their shots, I'll kind of signal for Paula to just hang back, keep herself flat against the floor, and I'll go see if I can get the drop on one of the surviving guards, choke him out.
Okay. So Ben, you're up against a 6 successes and a 5 successes. How do you want to deal defensively with those?
6 and 5. I'm seeing 4 and 3.
I'm adding 2 to each.
Okay. Well, I'm using my meat shield. So, Dex Athletics.
Yes.
Or would it be strength?
Yeah, you can use either.
Alright, we'll go to strength. Slightly better with that.
There you go.
Now, where'd the dice go?
Yeah, where did the dice go?
Let's try that again. Alright. And the next one, because it's multiple targets, I get a -1.
Right.
Okay, cool. So, 4 and 3, and whatever modifiers you want to attach to that.
Okay. So that subtracts to 2 and 2. So I'm gonna say that cinematically they just shoot through their buddy. Just unloading. They take him out. However, you take 2 additional wounds from the total math there. Put you at 6, right?
Correct.
Okay, and Deacon, you get to move now, I believe.
Brilliant. I'm gonna go and take one of the guards from behind, see if I can maybe get a pistol out of his holster and grab him and sort of use him as a human shield.
All right, make a strength plus brawl as you grapple him.
Brilliant. 2 successes out of 6 dice. Jeez.
He is surprised. I'll put a penalty here. All right, you got your hand on his gun, and you're sort of grappling with him as well, more offensively than defensively, like Ben is. Now that he's got a corpse shield. Even though these events are happening quickly, Sparkles, you've made it to the administrator's office. You just pop right out.
I'm still invisible, so anybody around?
You're surprised. This entire time that you've been here, you've probably imagined that this was like a base swarming with these elite troops, but At this moment, there's nobody in that office.
And then, yeah, I'm just gonna drop out of the air vent and see what I can find.
Okay. Make a wits investigation roll. Try to figure out the room. In the meantime, we'll finish this combat. There's one guard still standing. Who's just free and not grappling anybody.
All right, I'm going to grab him and chomp into him.
Okay, that's a strength brawl, right?
Correct.
Gonna resist here. He's able to fend you off, but that delays his entire action. He's not able to fire his gun.
Considering I'm grappling with claws, does he take damage?
Oh, that's a good point.
I can't exactly do gentle.
Yeah. Since that's how much that adds a bonus, right?
The claws add 2 and prowess adds 2.
Okay. Since he succeeded, I'll say that he took 2 damage pushing you away.
Cool.
Seems to me.
And I'm going to roll a rouse check during this turn to try to heal. And we are at 5 hunger.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Frenzy here.
There you go.
I kind of anticipated it was going to happen, but it was better than not healing.
Yep. Go ahead and pulls. Deacon, now that you're in grappling with this other guard, what's your action?
Gonna draw his pistol out of his holster, put it against the back of his skull, and pull the trigger.
Okay, make a. For this is going to be a struggle because he's fighting against you. Make this actually. This isn't much about strength anymore. You've already got the upper hand. Make this a composure. Composure firearm. Basic firearm shot.
My best skill, and I have close quarters combat as my specialty. So would I
Cool,
gain
add that.
specialty dice in this?
Yes, add a specialty die for that.
Brilliant. 1 modifier dice and 5 successes.
5
Here
successes.
comes my frenzy roll.
That's 5.
Ooh.
Frenzy.
All right, I've got a. For the viewers watching, I actually made a custom list of animal traits that pop up when my gangrel does his frenzy.
So what are we doing now?
All right, we need 2d10 rolled. We got an 8, and we got a 0. Shoot, that's not good. 0 is roll twice more. 6. His teeth have blunted and formed like a deer, and his eyes have shifted aside.
Oh, Jesus.
Nice.
All right, we're gonna go with it.
Sure.
Bambi.
Okay. The guard that you shot, it wasn't dead center in his head, but he collapses from the pain. And now we got a frenzying gangrel. It's always a good thing to have. Deacon, you now have a gun. Freely. Sparkles, you got how many successes on your investigation? 1? You notice that the administrator's office has a viewing window down to those cells where Deacon came from. Not that you know that he came from there, but you can see that there's a large room. You believe this is what represented the hangar on the map. It looks like they moved a bunch of stuff around to make it look more like a penitentiary. they've constructed a whole bunch of cells. You can see, just you have this feeling. You know for sure. You know where George is.
Okay, then I'm gonna go back to where Ben is.
Okay.
Is there anything useful in the office that I can just grab that looks weapony or makeshift weapony?
There's a
Did
large.
I give you knives earlier?
Did you? I don't know.
Yeah, I gave you a knife made out of a shin bone, that one guy, and then and I gave you one of the knives when we had to kill the cow.
Oh no, I thought we gave that knife to the other lady because she carved the heart.
You're right. Yeah, we got rid of the actual knife, but you still have the bone knife.
Okay, that's fun.
There are.
Is there anything else like keys or something?
There's a large one of those large pair of scissors that you find in offices. That's in there.
Oh, excellent! I'll grab that and I'll put it in my pocket because you don't want to run. Because kids, you don't want to run with scissors in your hand. It's a bad idea.
Even
Good wisdom.
You're supernaturally dexterous.
Exactly. You never know what will happen. Okay, so running back.
Sparkles is on her way back. Ben is now frenzying. Since Ben's frenzying, let's do your action next.
All right, cool.
Oh no.
So, it's a hunger frenzy, so I am attacking the first thing near me that's bleeding, which thankfully is a guard.
Thankfully.
Yeah, I doubt you want to die being chewed on by Bambi.
Just be embarrassing, honestly. Oh shit.
Messy crit, huh?
This is gonna get fun.
Oh no.
All right.
I guess I am gonna die at the hands of Bambi.
So you just tear in. You just like rip open the jugular, like half the chest as well. Just drench yourself with blood.
I am okay with this. I am gonna get stains, but I am okay with this.
In fact, since your teeth were blunted, it was extra vicious the way you had to just tear in and grind the meat. It's something out of like just a very gory slasher flick. It did, Deacon. This doesn't even look real to you. It looks like you're just in one of those uh, B-rated movies that just gore porn everywhere, just all over Ben.
Mm-hmm.
So
this is surreal, and I've been in war, so
yeah.
That makes two of us. So how much hunger does that slake? That sounds. The part that's grossing me out is the thought of like the blood flying as my eyes are up to the side.
Jesus.
Normally, a full human being has up to 5 in their body. However, you're not getting this in your mouth. You're just tearing and just sucking, and I'm gonna say that you get 2 as you mangle. If you can continue to drain if you wish, but just from this few moments in your frenzy, you start with 2.
I'm gonna sit here and continue to feast like he is some crimson salt lick.
What draws you out of frenzy?
For a hunger frenzy, I have to hit hunger 1.
Okay.
Otherwise, I just keep on going.
All right. So you do hit hunger 1. Do you continue trying to draw blood? He's more than mangled.
If he's dead and I'm out of frenzy, I'm gonna move on to the next target. I don't know you.
Are you saying this in character?
Yep.
Oh. Yes. His voice sounds slightly like he's straining to, not used to what's in his mouth.
I'm not with them. I'm My name's Deacon. I've been held here as well. My friend Paul is back there. Just don't do anything you regret.
I see. Cracking a joke as I look at you sideways.
Oh, jeez.
Sparkles, you arrive at this moment.
I'm gonna go stomp on the neck of the guy that he shot.
So I'm visible, but I'm like skipping and I'm waving my hands frantically, so it doesn't matter that I'm invisible. But I'm like, "Hey, Mr. Ben? Meow?
Yes, dear.
I can hear her, but I can't see her.
What happened to you?
Lost control.
Yes, dear. Oh, jeez.
Did you have a snack without me?
Just a bite.
I might be hungry later. Can you give me his arm? Anyway, I know where George is. Let's go.
I pick up the one he shot, and I'm like, Meals on Wheels.
Yay!
Guys, we have a normal mortal person with us.
Oh man. We'll explain later. Have to go find
Alright.
George now. Hi. Who are you?
My name's Deacon. I've been held here too for a few days.
Hi.
The person back there lying prone is Paula.
Hi, I'm invisible and I'm curtsying, but we're gonna go down the hall this way.
As we
I
walk,
do a little
I'm going
bow
to
back.
heal.
All right.
Woohoo! No more hunger.
So
Right.
they're in the I think they're in the hangar, but the hangar's been transformed into this thing that looks like more cells, and I'm very sure that's where George is. So we have to go. And where's Augustus? Where's Mr. Augustus?
He's standing right
Grab,
there.
see if it
He didn't move the entire combat.
Oh, is
really
he okay?
His eyes
Okay,
are still black.
I grab his hand and pull him in the
Got a bit of
direction.
a deer in the headlights look.
No pun intended. I'm
So bad. I'm sorry. I'll leave.
When does Ben revert back to normal?
I have to go through the whole night and then the next night like this.
Oh.
Oh no.
Speaking of which, the storytellers assigned me 2 traits that are affected by the deer teeth and the eyes.
Right.
Each one gets a -1.
Ooh.
Okay, well, it's this way.
Definitely charisma manipulation right now.
Alright, cool. -1 to each one. You got it.
Right. Augustus follows you immediately as you lead him. Paula is in that direction. Oh, hi. Are we? I think I recognize you. You were in my truck. She points at Ben.
Yeah. We'll have to handle that later. Do you know what's going on here? Are you aware?
They just arrested me and brought me here. Looks like they did the same to you, huh?
I am sitting here covered in blood, deer-eyed, deer teeth, claws out.
Okay, guys, come on. Let's go. Let's move.
You know what? That's a good point. She just turns and runs.
Paula. Oh no.
Grab her.
No, don't even worry about her. We have to find George.
Nope.
No, if she, I'm gonna run after her because I'm just gonna yell back. If she gets away, she could accidentally warn other people. Then I'm gonna try and tackle her.
Warn other people about what? The guys that kidnapped us and stole George?
No,
Masquerade
warn the guards
Mage.
about us.
They're gonna arrest her again, probably. Anyway.
Anybody
back
making
to
a
hangar.
anybody tackling, make a athletics strength.
You got it.
All right.
You both just jump on her.
Maybe Mr. Augustus can help her forget later.
Yeah, you both stop her from running off. Not strong enough to overpower the both of you for sure. What's going on? This is nuts.
I know this is all weird. I promise you, once we get out of here, we can all we'll make it clear. We'll explain it all to you.
Did they do that to you? Is he some sort of mutant?
Are you?
Yes. Radiation.
All right.
They're doing weird experiments on people here.
Look, I don't even care. Let's just get out of here. How do I get out? How do we go? Where do we go?
This
Follow
way.
us. We're on our way out. Did one of the guards have like a riot helmet or something?
None of those guards did. No. You've seen some like that before, but not the ones that you just massacred.
All right.
Oh wait, is there? So you're carrying the dead guard still, or did you put him down? Does he have a walkie-talkie on him?
Oh, that's a good idea.
And a rifle, by chance?
So the guards that you saw previously that had rifles don't appear to be anywhere around. The guards that you just massacred seem more like prison guards, and they had 45s, handguns.
Okay. I'm gonna grab whatever spare magazines he has and his walkie-talkie.
Okay.
Come in. Is anybody still alive?
You don't hear anybody on that channel?
Gonna try the other channels. Just same message.
I'm gonna search the other bodies and give a gun to Sparkles.
Ooh, shiny.
Who is this? Identify yourself.
This is Captain Grant. There's been a security breach. We're cleaning it up right now. Could we get a status report of your position and your numbers, please? So we can direct you as necessary.
Make a manipulation.
I suck at this.
Plus subterfuge. Subterfuge and manipulation. Roll, please.
2 dice. Here we go.
Here we go.
Come on, Lucky. Come on, Luck. Luck be a lady tonight. Okay, that's 1. Or wait, did it only roll?
Only rolled 1.
Oh, okay. Here, let me just plug that in properly. Manipulation, that should be it. Submit, modifier 0, roll. Huh. They each only rolled 1, even though I did it. Well, I suppose that's... Should I just re-roll 2 dice, or would we count those 2?
Sure, we can count those 2.
Yes!
But it's not necessarily a win, though. Let me roll his insight.
Oh no. Oh no.
Zero.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Okay, that alarm, what's that all about? We're up in the tower.
It seems like a couple of prisoners got loose. We just, we cleaned it up. They've been neutralized.
Okay, we'll send another, group your way to help secure the area.
Copy that. How many? And what's your ETA?
They should be there any moment now, about 5.
Oh, shit.
Cleanup crew.
We need to get these bodies... I'm gonna turn off the radio. We need to get these bodies out of the way.
What did you do?
Well, they could have probably been on their way anyway.
Guessing by the ETA he gave us, they were already coming.
Exactly.
Are any of their uniforms not completely fucking ruined?
Oh no, all of them are quite bloody.
All right.
I I think let's just go.
Yeah, we need to move. That's a good call. I don't think we have time to pull some subterfuge, so good call.
I'm
I'm
taking
gonna take
Tom
off.
and I continue to carry the corpse.
Okay.
Name him Tom. He likes chess and long walks.
Okay, let's go.
Sparkles. At the end of the
Anyway, Sparkles, let's do this.
At the end of the hangar room, there's a bunch of cells. The very far wall, see there's a guards room. And George, you can see George. He's inside the guards room. You can see him through the window.
There he is. There's George. Is there anyone else in the room?
Everything's
George is a stuffed animal?
He is so much more than a stuffed animal.
He's my bestest friend in the whole world.
You know, not the strangest thing I've seen tonight.
So what was Steven saying?
So you run down the hallway. Everything turns slow motion. Beautiful music plays. It's this reunion between you and George. George looks at you. You look at George. You know, tear of blood drips down your eye as this gorgeous moment. You can tell that George feels the same way, but he's just too dry. He's just too much of a tough guy to cry as well. But you know that in his heart he really believes this also, that this is the true moment of reunion and that you're destined to be together forever. You bust open the door. You receive his warm embrace. You've never felt happier in your entire life.
Yay, reunited!
Reunite. And it feels so
and
good.
If there was ever a time to award a willpower point back.
Yes. Absolutely. Why not? Willpower points all around. It's just such a joyous moment. Anyone who's missing willpower gets one. Yeah.
I would say it for her, but that works. I'll
Yeah.
take it.
Yay, morale! And George is back.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so quick note. Hate to put a damper on the situation, but
then don't.
No, this is important. In the time it took us to get George, it is very possible that the cleanup team has already arrived to the mess we've made.
You see Paula
we need to be ready for a fight.
Paula's running down some stairs now.
Maybe Paula? She knows the way out. Maybe she sees her truck or something.
Oh, jeez. You know what? She wants to throw away her life, that's her call.
No. We kind of need her for a different thing. She's involved in this whole drug thing that we need her for, so...
Okay, let's go after her. Maybe she knows the way out, too.
And I still have a puppet I need to make.
Me too!
I have many questions, but those can be answered when we're not getting shot at.
I like puppets.
Alright, go. Chase after Paula.
Alright.
As she gets to the bottom floor, she is dashing right out of a it looks like a standard exit. Looks like it was once an emergency exit, but it's been repurposed just to be a door. It's got one of those push handles. You can tell that there's a larger set of doors on the other side of the hangar that are now being opened, and this team in full armor starts walking in through that side.
Fuck. Oh no, it's a good thing we chased after her.
I might be able to do this.
We shouldn't engage them. That's what you're thinking.
No, let's just move. Let's just move. Let's get out of here.
Agreed.
Well, there's a bad opportunity there.
Do you
Don't even think about it.
do you
Trust
follow
me,
Paula,
they're
or
more than capable.
do you go after, or do you go somewhere else?
I think we should follow her.
Agreed.
Yeah. Let's follow Paula.
Just right outside, you see her frantically looking at this green truck. Got this open bed. She pulls on the door. It's locked. She's running around to the other side. She finds that the passenger door is unlocked. Jumps in. She's looking for keys frantically.
I'm gonna draw my pistol. Paula?
What's going on? Get out of here.
Just stay with us. You're not gonna survive on your own.
Does the body I'm carrying have keys to this? Just random chance.
Sure, do a investigation wits roll. And this is like go back towards the this is in retrospect to see if you picked up things that would have fallen off the body, that kind of thing.
I'm gonna spend a willpower.
Sure.
Can only re-roll 2 of those. 2 successes.
Okay, yeah. You, when you picked up the body, you were able to pick up the keys. He had attached to his belt, but fell off because a lot of jostling.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Excellent. So there's actually several keys on a ring.
All right. Deacon, you want to go in? We hop in the back and deal with anything that comes.
All right. I can try driving.
Do you not know how to drive?
I was never very good at it.
Fine.
Shooting's more my thing.
You in the back. I in the front.
Got it.
All right. Jump in and try the keys.
First few keys don't quite work. But eventually you find one that it's like, oh, obviously this one, it's fits in perfectly. Turns, you hear the engine turn over. It almost sounds like it's not going to at first, but I guess it's an older model.
Yep. I'm just picturing like a old Ford 450 or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Detroit Steel.
Just then the door opens again.
Right.
Are you going to go anywhere, or are you just gonna pedal the vehicle?
Who is coming through the door?
The armored soldiers.
Yeah, screw that. We're driving away.
Yep.
Okay, make a. So who's positioned where? There's only about, unless you really squeeze in, only about 3 of you can fit in the cab. Does anybody just jump in the bed?
I'm in the bed of the truck. I'll be providing cover.
Good idea, since you're armed. I guess the rest of you could.
I think me too, because I'm invisible.
Sure.
Although George is sitting in the front, Don't let anything bad happen to George. We can't lose him again.
Protect him with my life.
Thank you.
Secured in a
Oh, and I
seatbelt.
guess Augustus is in the front.
Yeah, I guess Augustus would be in the front too. He just sort of like walks like a zombie, sits down, like he's not paying attention. Think of like a kid on his phone, just yeah, whatever. But black eyes.
Yeah, it's creepy.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Paula's between me with my deer eyes and his demon
Yeah,
eyes.
Paula's like,
it might be an improvement, you know, because we never know what Mr. Augustus would do.
Oh, lordy.
So could you please, Ben, since you're driving, right?
Yeah.
Could you please make a drive and let's do composure. Drive composure roll. And this is to peel away as people are taking shots at you in your vehicle in a way to not just careen off the road and lose control.
Alright, I'm gonna do a rouse check to raise my composure, but I'm also going to drop my claws back in, which is
okay.
Double checked is kind of a free.
You don't slice up the steering wheel.
Yeah. So 5 composure +1, hunger's up to 2. Let's do this. Not bad.
All right. A series of them take shots at you, and they all miss.
Yeah.
You sort of get a nice weave in there. You're now on this large flight line. There's some very sizable buildings along the perimeter. However, you think you can see where there might be a gate that leads to an actual road.
Wait, I got an idea. Pull out my phone, which should still have the layout of the facility, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Yeah, use that to get my way out.
Okay. Yeah, you see a way that leads to like a main highway or something like that.
All right, let's go crash a gate to get out.
Right, you burst through the gate. It was chains together. Just flies right open.
Cool.
You all felt the brace of the resistance from the gate. However, it didn't just it wasn't a easy to rip through metal chains. In fact, everyone in the back, make a check to see that, make sure you don't like fall out. Please do a athletics, dex or strength, whichever one's higher.
Please don't fall out.
Messy critical.
That's 4 successes.
Jiminy.
Holy shit, 8 successes?
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Wow.
So in your messy critical, you grip the sides of the truck in such a way that your hands just like squeeze and bend the metal.
Oopsie.
You hear this sound as you just sort of overexert.
Chalk it up to adrenaline.
Jeez.
It was a stressful few days or week.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, as you're driving like a madman down the road, Paula, stuck between guy who's apparently possessed by the abyss and a crazy deer man. I'm gonna need a drink.
Oh, that's a great idea. Hey, Mr. Ben, pass me that snack that you've been saving.
Guys, I don't think she's one of us.
I don't care.
One of you.
I think I would have put the corpse in the back.
Okay, then I'll help myself to it.
Yeah. Tom, the Capri Sun.
There you go.
Christ.
Help yourself to this.
I'm a little bit disturbed by your proclivity for cannibalism, but
I'm
at the same
hungry.
time, I've been there. Did you
Is it
make
really
those get
cannibalism if we're superior? And thus began Ben's process of coming to the Sabbat.
So your phone gets a signal. You're far enough out. Apparently, there was supposed to be a dead zone on the base, but you can now access the internet or whatever.
And probably getting any messages that have been lying in wait.
Oh yeah, you get a deluge of your contacts and stuff, asking where you are, where you've been.
I don't know where we should go.
Well, I think what they usually do in those spy movies is we have to ditch the car and get another car, and then
Kill all the
go back.
witnesses.
Well, yes, obviously. Clean up. We need to make some phone calls of our own so people know what's happening to our kind.
Yeah, this truck might have a tracker on it, so the quicker we get rid of it, the better.
Yeah, I agree.
As you drive, you approach Rentoul, which is a small town. If any of you know Chicago well, you know that this town is about 130 miles.
Wow.
Well, this is a new scene, so all my powers are dropping. Yay. We definitely need a new vehicle, and to decide what to do with all our baggage. I would suggest we burn this vehicle. Good way to get rid of excess evidence.
Also, a good way to draw the eyes of the local police.
You could sink it in a lake.
True.
We could drive it in a cave. Sinking might be better.
You could just ditch it in the woods.
True. The good thing about not having to breathe, ditching it in a lake, it makes it real easy.
You don't have to breathe?
Wait. Are you not one of... This whole time, Ben's been assuming you're another vampire.
I don't know. I had to drink blood, but that's...
Oh,
I don't know. I don't think I'm like you.
I think we're all different. We're snowflakes.
What clan are you?
Clan? What are you talking about?
Alright, so we have... look at Spark like it's just taking out the trash. So we have 2 bodies to dispose of. 3, actually, because the Capri Sun.
No, wait. Didn't he say he had to...
At the moment he does that, I'm gonna reach for the gun. Like...
No, wait.
Oh, boy.
Wait, so didn't he say he had... Did you have a snack earlier? What was your snack?
They gave me one of my squad mates.
And what did you do to him?
I drank from his wrist.
Squad mate?
Yeah. I guess... I'm gonna, take a step back from Ben. just
Well,
put
remember, I'm driving and talking to you through the.
Oh yeah, you're driving. You're still driving. We haven't stopped the car.
Yeah.
I guess now's a good time to tell you that those people we murked back there, I used to work with them.
Used to. What happened?
Well, about a week ago, we were doing a raid, and I guess I got sloppy or something. Came around a corner and I was out. Woke up.
Who were they?
What do you mean? Who were they?
Yeah, I mean, dude with red glasses, the guy I got to make a puppet of. Otherwise, I don't know.
I don't know too much about the dude with the red glasses. He's always been a shady bastard, but I can tell you that these guys, the guys who are hunting you, well, me as well, hunting us, they're bad news. We need to be very careful because they have all the resources they could ever need.
How much do they know?
I mean, I wasn't told much. I'm just a grunt. But
Oh, on a side note, what time is it?
You can tell from both the phones dash the vehicle. It's about 4 p.m. Oh, sorry, 4 a.m. So the sun's gonna come up real soon.
So we need to find shelter.
we do. I'll explain more once we get inside.
Well, this truck is a dead giveaway, so it needs to be concealed somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, I'm in no shape to hail a cab.
Agreed. Do we have anything in this truck that could cover his face? And I'm in a prisoner jumpsuit, so I don't think I am either.
Did you bring?
Well, besides the small town, what is the surrounding area like?
A lot of
Is it
fields. There's some farms. Some suburbs, that kind of thing. Residential areas.
Farm would do nicely. We can park outside and then run in.
no? Stash the vehicle in a barn, maybe.
Exactly.
I mean, we'd have to check for a tracker on the vehicle. Wouldn't surprise me if there was one.
Oh, that's true.
Well, I'm pretty good at taking vehicles apart.
All right.
All right, I guess we should pull over. And while we're pulling over, why don't you switch clothes with the Capri Sun?
All right, will do. And I'll get into the ruined uniform.
Yeah, it's better than nothing.
Yep.
Better than a prison outfit.
Yes.
So what say you, David?
What was the last thing you said? What say me? What?
What am I rolling to find a tracker?
Investigation and wits, please.
You got it. Two.
All right. You do not find any tracker in the truck. However, you do find its first aid kit.
Gauze.
There's a little sign-out sheet.
For a second, I thought you said guys, and I was like, what?
No, gauze. As in
Yep, gauze.
gauze up the head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my audio's going a little robot-y.
There you go. Anyone can make a medicine intelligence check to make it look realistic.
I can do that.
Oh God, can I not?
Two success and
Yeah, that works. That's good enough. I mean, you're not actually doing real bandage anyway. You're just kind of disguising it. So yeah, you cover up the wounds.
Yay!
Okay, so now let's find cover.
Anybody? I'm turned to the others. I'm like, anybody ever seen Hollow Man?
Hollow Man?
It's a movie, dude with bandages on his face. Just like,
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah. Let's find some cover.
all right, let's go get cover. Would that be a wits survival?
Sure. You're trying to just find a place to hide for the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me survival plus wits. Yeah, that'll work.
Oh, willpower reroll, please.
Go for it. You will find this. You.
Oh, Lordy, 2 successes.
Okay. Here's your.
That's one of my best rolls too.
Here's your option. Unless you're gonna invade someone's home or something as such, you believe that, unfortunately, it's kind of near. You're ditching the truck in a barn, right? Is that right? So the near the barn farmhouse, they do have a storm cellar. Doesn't look like it ever gets any activity. That might be a perfect place to hide for the day. However, it's not very far from the truck.
I could possibly. So it's still 4 a.m. ish. Is there anybody?
Anybody home?
Is there anybody sleeping at home? I'm thinking I could break and enter, get a snack, and also secure us a place to sleep.
Apparently, sunrise is at 6:59 in Chicago.
Okay, got a little time then. But not much. Okay, so peering through the windows, you do notice an elderly couple sleeping in a bedroom.
Oh no, they're elderly. We can't do that.
You can't.
No, we shouldn't. They're old.
Look, we gotta do what we gotta do. Just let's try not to hurt them too bad.
We could knock and try to talk to them and say we need help. And then if they don't want to help us, then Ben can do something.
Of course, I have to do it.
Oh, I didn't get your names, by the way. I'm Deacon.
Ben.
And Sparkles.
Sparkles. Well, Sparkles.
And this is George with a J.
Hello, George.
And Mr. Personality is Augusta.
Yeah,
Paula's just staring at him.
Overcome with an elder god. Most likely there's going to be some tentacle action later.
Oh, great, okay. Sparkles, how about you go up to the door? You're the least intimidating of us. I mean, I've got a gun and I'm covered in blood and Ben's a deer.
The giant
one. Well, I'm thinking there's no harm in asking and maybe they'll help us. Because I'm a sad Sparkles otherwise. Okay, so I'll go and I'll knock.
Your first knock receives no response. You continue to pound on the door?
Yes, I will knock harder.
Door opens. Very old, probably 70s. Probably late 70s woman, very small, with curly white hair, with her nightgown on, answers. Hello, dearie. What are you doing at this hour?
I'm so sorry to bother you, but my friends and I, our car broke down and we need someplace to sleep for the day. And I was wondering if perhaps we could sleep in your basement or something. Please, please, please.
Oh, you're cutie. Are your parents over there? Are they around? Young lady?
My big brother is here and our friend is with us.
I'm gonna wave.
And we're really tired. We've been traveling.
Well, how about I call you AAA or something?
No. I mean, we just need the place to sleep for the day, and we won't bother you. I promise.
But could I speak to your parents, little girl?
Well, my big brother is here, and I point to Ben. He kind of hit his head.
Oh no.
Ben, are you standing in eye shot? Can she see you?
No, but I try to direct her attention and just try to.
I had planned to be standing like just off the side of the door, like if this goes bad.
He's not doing so well, so I mean, please, we just need some place to sleep.
Oh, not doing so well. Should I call 911?
No, we're good. We just need to sleep. We're so tired, and I promise we won't give you any trouble. And this is my friend George. George says hi.
Oh, hi, George. Okay, honey. Why don't you stay right here?
They're gonna call the cops. The moment she turns around, I'm gonna go in, and I'm gonna see if I can I'm gonna try to not hurt her, but I'm also gonna gain physical control of the situation.
Okay, well, since I'm right there, I'm gonna just peek in to make sure she's not reaching for a phone.
She attempts to close the door on you.
Can I see a phone line out, going from the house elsewhere?
Oh man, I'm really cute. So
you can investigate. Please. You can investigate behind the building or something.
If we're going horror movie, let's do this full blown. Investigation and what?
Do investigation and intelligence for this one, just because you're figuring out where it's gonna be.
This is gonna be just
versus
peachy.
Eyeballing it. Okay. You don't find the phone line you're looking for, but you do find a basically like a fuse box. All right, so Deacon, you're going inside?
Yeah. I'm not risking her calling the cops.
I'm gonna pull
okay. Wrestle the old lady to the ground. Do a brawl plus strength.
All right, here's hoping I don't massively screw this up.
You will never live this down.
The beast.
I quit. I'm done.
All right.
Son of a bitch.
Do Thin Bloods get compulsions?
They cannot be frenzied, but they can get compulsions.
Okay, make a compulsion roll, please. That's just a D10.
What fun would that be? Compulsion.
Oh yeah, you're right. You could.
Well, Sparkles was trying to help.
Roll a D10.
Oh, just a D10. Okay, so I'll just do a rouse. Yes. Okay.
What'd you get?
Failed. A 4.
He is going to be compelled for dominance.
Oh no. Well, that's actually not terrible in this situation.
Yeah. So anything you do that's other than trying to take control of the situation and be in charge, that's going to be a -2 to any other roll, right?
In other words, Ben is going to kill you by the end of the scene.
Yeah, probably. It's been good, guys.
So
yeah, I'm gonna force her to the ground, see if there's zip
well,
ties or something on the
The fact that she slips away from you is perfect for your whole dominance compulsion, because it's oh damn, I can't even wrestle down a little old lady. No.
And
well, I guess if I'm going full dominance, I can
So
one in her leg.
as he's failing to wrestle down this little old lady, what's everyone else doing?
Like I said, I pulled the fuses, and then I'm heading in too.
Okay. And the few lights that she turned on turned off. So Sparkles, are you just staying out, or?
I am a sad Sparkles, and I do not condone the
Home invasion.
hurting of old people.
But they're like a fine wine. They've been aged so well.
No! That's not very nice. George does not approve.
So
You're a vampire, the fluffy.
she's the woman screams, "Ah, Ben, wake up!"
Don't make me shoot you, Granny.
Wait. Damn it.
There are 2 Bens.
There are 2 Bens.
In the end, there can be only one. I'm going to use my potence ability. I'm going to leap up through a second floor window and go attack from that angle.
Okay.
Soaring leap.
Soaring leap.
Yeah. Forgot what that thing was called. I always forget what that's called.
So this loud crash, everyone hears this as he crashes through a window. We don't have any money. Just take anything you want, though.
Oh, we will.
Oh,
Look, Grandma, we're not here to. We're here for what we said. We're here to sleep for the day.
Just then, Grandpa Ben comes around the corner and he's like, "Yo, son of a bitch, get out of my house!" And he's wielding a shotgun.
I'm gonna turn and shoot him.
All right, take a composure plus firearms roll.
That's my thing. That's like. And would you say this was within close range?
Yeah, fairly close.
All right.
In a house, so.
That one. 6 successes.
Martha is her name, by the way. Ben and Martha.
Martha, okay.
She just slumps down and falls almost as quickly as Grandpa Ben does. Her life's been ruined. Distraught. She lived for that man. She loved him.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, no.
And now he's dead.
But at least her last living act was kicking your butt.
Yeah. She's got that victory.
So take 3 stains for breaking into an elderly couple's home and shooting the homeowner.
Yep.
I'm just gonna be sitting on the porch steps outside, just.
I'm going to snap her neck. Make it quick and easy.
Okay, you can take 3 stains as well.
Cannot handle this. It's not okay with this.
Oh, man.
That's my snappy the necky.
That'll do it.
Yep. Sparkles, you got this whole old elderly couple killed. Sparkles, how could you?
It wasn't my fault. I had them to help us.
It's pretty much entirely my fault.
Yeah.
They were gonna kill them anyway, and at least I tried.
If it matters for the matter of staying, then put her down to put her out of her misery.
I think it's cool motive, still murder, to quote Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Well, see, the thing is, even if we just hid in the cellar, like, we could have been discovered, and they could have called the cops on.
Yeah.
It was a necessary evil.
I know of no such evil because I don't know what happened. I'm gonna Yeah, I don't know what to do.
So Paula's kind of frozen outside. She has no idea what's going on. She heard a gunshot go off, deciding whether or not she needs to run.
I look at
Jesus.
Deacon and I'm like, hey, you probably have some handcuffs on there. Can you do something about her? Make sure
Sure.
she can't get away.
I'll go out to Paula. Paula? Come here.
What's going on? I heard a gunshot.
It's all right. It was just fuck. Just get on the ground, and I'm gonna point my gun at her.
Oh, come on. She gets on the ground.
Look, I don't want to hurt you, but we need you under control.
Under control? I'm not doing anything.
No, but you could try to run, and we can't have that.
What? I thought we were all running.
I'm gonna go and handcuff her.
Alright.
And while
She doesn't resist.
He's handcuffing, I'm eating a Gramwich.
Gramwich, jeez. Oh no.
I'm just taking one.
This is not
before it goes
okay.
cold.
Feel like there's fucking something staining about that one.
George, don't look.
Lick the wounds after I'm done.
And I'm gonna cover Paula's eyes as I bring her in.
Okay.
I'm assuming she doesn't resist too much because I got a gun on her, but
Yeah.
We have the first aid
He's-
kit. We can always put the eye patch and gauze around.
He's
good
defeated.
thinking. Brilliant thinking. I'm really sorry about this, Paula, but trust me, it's for your own good.
He doesn't speak a word.
It's either this or I pull you in two.
Yeah.
Stay
Trust
silent.
me when I say it's better this way.
I can always chew on her
Please don't.
with the deer teeth. Oh, lordy.
So, do you make arrangements for the night?
I'm gonna hide the bodies and cover up as much damage as I can. Sun comes up and then
Close, lock all the doors and windows as best as possible, and find a hiding space.
I'm just
Either
gonna-
in the cellar or
thinking the attic would probably be the least noticeable.
wherever it's least noticeable and inconspicuous.
Okay.
And I'm gonna see if I can find. I'm gonna find a good place to secure Paula, and then I'm gonna find a place where I can sleep.
Good to me. So, you definitely find areas where there's little to no sunlight. The rest of the night, which is only about less than an hour, pretty uneventful. Clean up the bodies, however you want to handle that. Make rouse checks for the next morning.
As well as those humanity rolls.
Yep, make your humanity rolls as well.
We roll one for every humanity we lose, or just
No.
You roll the difference between how many stains you have in humanity. The unmarked spaces.
Minimum
I
one.
have an idea.
So you roll
I
one.
have an idea. While Paula is sleeping, I will bite her.
So.
For
For you,
one.
oh no, wait, I messed that roll up. Pardon. Let me just.
for you and me, we have enough stains that we just get 1/10.
Oh, okay, just one. Brilliant. I'll just do two rouse checks then. Neither good.
Okay, you lose a humanity.
Oh, jeez.
Ben's okay.
Yeah, you're okay.
And
Soul
Ben has
darkens.
seen some shit.
Beacon. Step. I mean, it's just what you need to do to survive in this world, right?
Yeah.
You justify it that way. I do it, and I do it again. I kill 1,000 grandmas. Shoot 1,000 grandpas.
No.
I put her down. This is how I justify it. Put her down so that she wouldn't have to suffer. She's now with her love. They went out together.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm okay with this.
Like, you wouldn't do that every time. It's just like this exact weird scenario that you happen in on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally
Yeah.
rationalize it. Alright, so did you make rouse checks?
Yes.
Yes.
I failed
Okay.
mine.
Failed
I
yours.
succeeded.
I succeeded, no hunger game. But while what's her name was sleeping, I wanted to take a point of blood from her.
Paula?
Yes.
Okay, that's perfectly acceptable. Especially since you do the Sandman trick there.
She was looking so peaceful and tasty, I couldn't help myself.
She's an MRE. Mortal, ready to eat.
They make sure there's no bite marks on her.
Man, the puns are just flowing this episode.
Oh yeah.
Let's not do this again, guys. I don't think it's a good idea to pick on old people.
So you're still in the elderly couple's home?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
You
they
just
have a car or something.
Yeah, we should search for keys or something. And even then, we should only use this car to get as far as we need and to get a new vehicle.
Oh, but don't we also have to stash the other vehicle somewhere? So there's no trace.
Yeah, we definitely have to find a place to stash that.
There's a four-door sedan out front. Keys are on the table in the hallway.
Ooh,
Nothing's hidden.
The truck.
What was it?
Okay.
Do they have a hayloft?
You do.
I'm going to surround the truck in hay bales.
Okay.
But that's
Very-
super strength. That's super.
Temporary, though. Is there any way you can can you crush the truck so it doesn't look, like how it...
You're right. Stop that decision. I'm not strong enough to crush it like it can. I'm super strong, but I'm not Superman.
Mm-hmm.
We could always Molotov it.
Which is...
Yeah. Although that might get too much attention too quickly. I mean, someone's going to find the bodies eventually, but we want to delay that as long as possible.
Yeah.
Unless we put the bodies in the truck, then.
Drive it off a bridge or something.
Or just put the bodies in the truck and burn it.
How straight was the road to here?
So if we did that, then it would cause a lot of attention.
You had to pull off on a back road to get to this farm.
Okay. There goes that idea.
So Augustus is awake.
Oh.
He goes and walks into that main hallway and grabs those keys.
Let's grab the guy's gun.
Yeah.
I could always use another shotgun.
I suppose.
We could drive two vehicles until we see someplace to stash it, or
All right. I was actually thinking the same thing. I'll take the truck and you guys take the sedan. If
All right.
trouble arises, we'll meet up somewhere.
Good call.
Are you splitting up, or are you just driving together?
Driving together, just different vehicles.
Yeah.
Caravan, if you will.
Which vehicle are you putting Augustus and Paula in? And George.
Probably the sedan.
Okay.
sedan.
Who's driving that one?
Yeah, it's gonna be just me on in the truck.
Okay.
Okay.
So Sparkle's driving?
No, Sparkles doesn't drive.
Oh, I can try my best.
Augustus says, I can drive.
Oh, do we trust him to drive? I don't know. His eyes still black.
According to the rules, you don't need to make a roll unless there's like evasive maneuver.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, good.
So,
I'll drive then. I was worried about that. It's been a while since I played V5. Just
Augustus says, fine. So, can I have these cuffs taken off? Ask Paula.
Are the bodies in our car, or are they in the truck?
They're in the truck.
Brilliant. Okay. Yeah. Sorry about that. I'm gonna take off her mask and uncuff her.
Feels her wrists.
Really, really, I'm sorry about that. Trust me when I say.
The grandma and grandpa in the truck too. Might as well.
Rounding up bodies. Nice.
Well, I figure it'll raise less suspicion if it disappeared as opposed to, and there's grandma and grandpa.
Yeah.
Nothing suspicious about a truck full of bodies.
Well, yeah, but if you remove identification, then it takes a while. I'm not looking to prevent. I'm looking to delay.
Oh man, we have to figure out what to do with the bodies. Do you have any contacts? People who drive big ships or something.
I know a few criminal contacts. Maybe I know someone who could help get rid of them.
Yeah. Let's call him. Or her.
All right.
Or them.
I'm gonna call up Phil. That's a name I'll come up with on the spot. Who is my criminal contact? Rank 3, I suppose. Phil. I'm gonna need a favor. We've got 2 cars and a body, and 3 bodies now that need to disappear.
Alright, where am I sending the cleaning crew?
Oh, you'll send a crew. Brilliant.
Then we don't have to split up.
Here, I'll give you the address now, and I'll go to the mailbox and just look at it and punch in and text him the address.
We need a Winston Wolf. That's who we need.
What's that?
Mr. Wolf from Pulp Fiction.
Oh, yeah.
Alright.
Sparkles knows her movies.
So they send their Winston Wolf, and where's your? Okay, so we're closing down the session now. But final word: where are you driving?
All right, since we don't have to split up, I think we can interrogate Paula in peace,
Okay.
as well as get our bearings back. So I'm actually,
to be fair, I probably have more information to provide to you than Paula.
Oh, I'm gonna pull you in too as well.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
Well, don't they have like some kind of warehouse area that we should be taking the cars so we can interrogate Paula there too, and get the cleanup thing at the same.
Well, the cleanup crew's gonna do their thing while we leave. So I was thinking maybe take her to that place we met Rosa that one time.
So wait, are we ditching a vehicle? What's the plan with the cleanup crew? So the cleanup crew is going to the old people's house?
Yeah.
Okay, and are they taking the truck with the bodies? I would assume so.
Yeah.
Okay,
right.
So then we can take the sedan to where Rosa was, or where you met Rosa, or...
Yeah, place far off in the woods where no one can hear.
There you go.
Where did we meet Rosa?
Back in Chicago.
Woods by a lake, if I recall.
Yeah, there's a park by a lake, Chicago, which is about 130 miles off, so you got a little road trip. And this road trip is where we're going to end our session. Thank you for joining us in Blood City today. Thank you to our special guest.